Uncle legend what a guy อร่อยที่สุดในเมืองไทยนะ
โอเค
number one come on down ร้านชื่ออะไรนะ
บะหมี่เกี๊ยวกวางตุ้ง2451
2451
ปากซอยเจริญกรุง79
2451วันเกิดพ่อใช่ไหม
บ้านเกิดพ่อ
ครับ
นิวโรดเจริญกรุงโรด
Charoen Krung Road
79
right guys we will see you there today we're back on Charoen Krung in Bangkok's Bang Khor Lam district and we're here to visit a little noodle shop run by a man that I have dubbed Bangkok's happiest noodle maker. Uncle Jai works to 111-year-old recipe passed down from his father, who came over from the Guangdong province in southern China. This man is a master craftsman. Everything here is handmade, from the egg noodles to the wontons, including their wrappers, to the barbecue red pork and everything in between. This, for me, is what food in Thailand is all about. Let's go. Song Si Ha Nung.
Yes, my father's birthday.
Well, okay, so this is his father's birthday. Song Si Ha Nung. Okay, Cup? Cup and Cup? Alright, so his mum and dad came from Guangdong. นี่ลุงชื่ออะไรนะครับ
ใจ
ใจครับ
เติมวีระ
โอ้โห
ใจเล็กกวางตุ้ง
So we've got อันนี้กระเทียมเจียวมันหมูไหมน้ำมันหมูโอ้โหอร่อยมาก
เดียว every day
ทุกวันเหรอ
ได้
So I make it every day อันนี้อะไรนะน้ำหมูแดงครับ So we've also got the juice from the หมูแดง Oh and these are the handmade ทำเอง Oh the old school it's in the wooden box we know this wow wrapped in banana leaf as well Wow วันทันเกี๊ยวทำเองไหม
ทำเอง เดี๋ยวจะขอให้ดูก็ได้
Wow, look at these guys. This is craftsmanship at its finest. So it looks like they're very, very popular as a takeaway joint. Look at that mordang. No bright red nonsense on there. Oh, อร่อยนะรันเบิร์ดกี่ปีแล้วนะ
My
Father
Chinese
come here
yeah
111
yeah
111
yeah
Wow
Father.
His dad opened this 111 years ago ที่นี่นะ
Thailand
ใช่
yeah
After we'd finished eating, Loong Jai corrected me and actually told me that his dad came over 111 years ago and used to sell these noodles from Charoen Krung Road. So he used to walk around with the two baskets on the stick over his shoulder and sell noodles in the local area where this shop is. So I'm not exactly sure how long the shop's been here for, but I know they've been living here around the back for 111 years. He's very proud of this, wall to wall, like celebs of Thailand. I don't know, I know a few of these people, but apparently these are the most influential people in Thailand. Oh look, there's a couple of phalang. We're gonna try and get our picture up on there in a sec. Then we've got more over here. Newspaper cuttings, telling his story. Look at this, all of the different newspaper cuttings, awards, certificates, wow. So we're gonna get the starch off first, then he's gonna dip it into that water, separate. And then they're going to start building, look. Ani naman nga. Macam sesame oil, nam mudang, manmu, katiam jiao. He could probably explain all this to me in English, but con hom and some pickled turnip, which is Pasa Thai อะไรนะ ตั้งใจครับ pickled radish.
Guangdong.
So these are proper Cantonese style noodles. Wow. She's showing us how to make the wrappers. Oh, that's easy work for you, Joe. Look, they've gloved him up because they know he's got the Rona.
I said on my video there's a great skill in this, and I'd have no chance, but
She put it on the corner first and then wrapped
yeah.
it.
So she hasn't actually shown me how to do this. So
Right, on the corner.
in the corner, and then she wraps it over,
โอเคโอเค
and then
That's basically exactly the same. That's not bad, mate, for a first effort. You're eating that one. Don't put that in there. You're having that one. I'll eat that one.
Yeah.
Falangin da.
Beautiful.
Swaina. All right, Joe's in here making his own dumplings. He's trying to get employed. Guys, you know this is what I live for. Uncle, absolute legend. Like, proper character. And these noodles look incredible. They're some of the most popular, some of the most common noodles you'll get in Thailand. You get like chai si, the chain, the franchise with the yellow signs. They're on every street corner. This is a dish you find everywhere. But when you find somewhere like this, where it's a century-old recipe and they're still doing everything every day, not cutting any corners, making the munmu fresh every day, making the marinade for the char siu, the mordang every day. Grandfather recipe. This is what gets me excited. Cup. Well, Uncle's going to show us.
This is หอมไข่
Hom kai Thai. Smells like egg, yeah.
very egg
ทำเองไหม
Yeah
ทำเองเหรอ จริงเหรอ
อันนี้ก็ทำเองอันนี้ก็ทำเอง
ทำเองทุกอย่างนะ
ทำเอง
ทุกอย่างทำเอง so they do everything here, guys.
Okayไปsame
these things are always very easy to explain, but he's been doing it like, what, 40 years, 50 years? The reality is, it's bloody hard. Fold the corner, and then it turns out like that.
I'll eat that.
The others were better.
So they got shrimp, and these ones are hidden away from us. Ah, so big lumps. Oh my god.
กุ้งเลย
So just a whole piece.
กุ้งเป็นตัวเลยแต่เป็นตัวเลย
เป็นตัวอะไรนะ
ใส่เป็นแต่เป็นตัวเลย
ครับ so whole shrimp สั่งได้ไหม
ได้
โอเค เอาบะหมี่เกี๊ยวหมูแดงปูครับ
มีเกี๊ยว
เกี๊ยวหมูแดงปู
ปู
โอเค
ปูเอาปูมา
เอาซุปแยกนะ
Okay very good
Okay.
Dai very good
Yeah. Okay. Alright, the claw. Right, so only the claw, guys. Oh, it's just steaming, right? So look, right? All right, so we've got the soup portion, the water portion, and then we've got the crab is just steaming on this little hot plate there. Oh, yeah, well done, Joe. Getting my shot again.
Shift me out of the way.
All right, so before we try this, Joe, I'll just run you through for your viewers and for my viewers what we've got in here. So Bamee, Giow, Daeng, Phu. Bamee egg noodles. Giow is the wontons that you made. I think you made that one, didn't you? That really nice looking one.
Similar.
Daeng is the red pork, char siu red pork. And this is like, I think this is going to be like more like Hong Kong style than your usual one. And Phu is crab. So
Okay.
wonton egg noodle crab. And we've also got some Chinese greens like your bok choy style.
They've spared
Right.
us. They've spared us the wontons that I made, but these wontons are huge. There's a
Huge.
whole prawn in
So,
there.
pro tip, order the prawn ones because you get a whole, literally, he just showed us, opened them up, whole piece of prawn in there, wasn't there?
I just want to say before I know you've already started, but I just want to say before we start, there was a place in northern Thailand where I went to a noodles restaurant, and the view was incredible. The view was so good.
I saw it, yeah.
I said, I don't care if the noodles are good because the view is worth it. For me here, I kind of don't really care about the noodles because
know.
they are so nice and so friendly and so welcoming.
Ridiculously friendly guys. I'm talking like, and it's not just how friendly they are, it's like Joe said in his video a second ago, yeah, it's the passion that they exude. It is like, you can see the passion in his eyes. He just came over and he said like, I want you to try the noodles from the noodle machine. Like he is the noodle machine. Because he doesn't need a machine, he is the machine to make these by hand every day for the last, well, with his dad, 100 years. So, should we have let's have a little blast without anything on, Joe?
Sure.
You can immediately taste the difference between these and factory made bamee. Now there's nothing wrong with factory made bamee. I love egg noodles of all types. These are slightly fatter, they've got a little bit more bite to them.
Yeah, definitely that chew in the middle.
Yeah, al dente,
Al dente, as we'd say.
as our Italian friends would say. You've got the richness from the pork fat. You've also got the namanga, the sesame oil. I forget the name in English. Sesame oil as well. Great flavour from that. And then you have that sweetness and sort of five spicy
Definitely
taste coming through from the Daeng.
And the five spice adds a sweetness, but actually the sweetness from the crab, I don't know if you've had a piece with the crab yet, the crab is so sweet, so light. And it's the crab leg meat. Nice chunks of crab leg meat there.
Oh, that is so good. You see, I actually steamed it on the little hot plate bit rather than putting it in, like boiling it. Usually they just dunk it in with the...
Yeah, and that's when it can get overcooked, right?
Yeah. I love the Daeng is not dry because it's got quite a heavy level of fat. You know, usually it's that real lean cut and it can be really, really dry, but this is like almost sort of bacon-like.
It is. It is. It is like streaky bacon. It looks like there's the same amount of fat in there, or like not quite a guanciale, it's a thicker cut, but fat is definitely flavour for me. Oh,
Do you think we need to like dress these up just a little bit to taste?
I think so. I mean, I don't think it needs it, but they are proud of their. What actually is this?
Cut more, so fried pork. All right.
Well, why wouldn't you add that?
Exactly. All right. So I'm not going to bore you guys watching my videos. You'll know that you'll know what I put on my noodles. But for anyone who hasn't been watching or Joe's listeners, I'm going to put Pik Bon roasted chili powder, and like everything else here, they've actually roasted the chilies themselves and then blitzed them up. So I'm thinking we're going to get a bit more depth of flavour from that. Pik Nam Som, because we've got to cut. There is some sweetness there, as you'd expect, like Joe said from the Daeng. I'm going to add a tiny bit of this stock.
I know you've said it before on your channel, and I think I've said it in some earlier videos if you haven't seen it. Top tip, this one actually came on the side anyway, but ask for the soup on the side.
On the side.
Because if you don't like it or it is sweet, you can leave it off.
Soup is soup yak. Yak means to split or put to the side. So soup yak, carb.
That's tasty, tasty soup.
Oh, that is one of yours. I've got that's one of Joe's.
Yes!
Yes, I've got Joe's one. I must have mixed the bowls up.
Oh no, I've got one too. In
That's
fact,
not bad, mate.
that one looks like one of mine. Let's try
That's
it.
not bad, mate. Not bad at all.
Oh, they are good.
The crab, fresh, super fresh, super juicy. As we said, not overcooked. The pork, if I had it on its own, I would think was probably a bit too sweet. But like you say, a lot of it's the five spice flavour, like the cinnamon, accentuates that sweetness, doesn't it? But great flavour all round. And to be honest, the star of the show is the noodles.
The handmade noodles make such a difference, and it is that bite. It is that bite that comes from them. They don't overcook them. I mean, it does make a big difference. If you see a place serving handmade noodles, you need to stop. I mean, you had a recommendation from your friend for this, right? But
yeah, so this video, sorry to cut you off, this video is dedicated to Peanut. Peanut?
if you are walking past and you see handmade noodles, I mean, you can see the difference, as you saw in the shop front. Stop and try them, and the chances are it's going to be great. They were good before we styled them. Now they're great, and don't be afraid to add all these things onto your noodles because it does take them to the next level.
For me, like, I know I sound like a broken record, but the textures, all those little pieces of crispy pork. You've also got that pickled radish in there as well, adding salt, like a little bit of word we used earlier, umami, but just like an added layer. You've got the crispness, and then you've got that the roasted chili is not only spicy, but it's almost smoky where they've roasted it. So it gives you like a deep heat, like a mouth tingling.
But there is so much going on. The crunch from the veg, the crunch from the crispy pork. There's fried garlic in there, which I've just got coming through.
The pork fat richness, you've got the sweetness, the plump prawns, so that's a little bit more texture, a bit more flavour, then you've got that flaky crab meat. Again, if this was the first time you'd had these, I'd have just ruined your life, because like you're not going to get better than this, are you?
I'm going to say it again, it's true. It is true, and I said I didn't really care if the noodles lived up to the hospitality, but the noodles are on par. I'm not going to say better than the hospitality, because the hospitality is amazing.
Yeah,
honestly, they took so much care putting it onto the table even and putting it in front of us. But the noodles are on par with the hospitality. This place is a real gem.
This is a gem, guys. And any of our Thai viewers, make sure you call up the shop and tell Uncle to get a picture of me and Joe up on that wall ASAP. That is a life-changing bowl of noodles, guys. If you can find a better version of this, I'm not saying it's the best, but if you can find a better version of this, I'll give you your money back. And how cute is this? We've even got the uniform now. We've been given the uniform. Yes. Gobong Herb?